Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ready, Set, Save. I am your host and DM, Mateo. And okay, so you guys are back at the manor, um, with the 55 children.
Yeah.
All right.
We head back.
Yeah.
First things first. Uh, does it seem like Renner and Robert have upset anyone so far?
Um.
She's crying.
Yeah. So it seems like as you enter, like you notice like a few children kind of like throwing tantrums and crying, and yeah. Um. It seems as if that like both the men are just like face palming, and kind of overwhelmed by the amount of children in the room.
Yeah, I
The
can
Robert,
house.
imagine.
dearest, what happened? You've always been so good with children.
And he says, "Well, I've expressed my desire, but look, this is quite a heavy load to put on me, certainly."
I understand. Not to worry though, because I did bring Fala, and Fala does know how to fix the problem,
There's
theoretically.
a spirit in here, a
Yes,
spirit.
Fala. Yes, we know. Could you deal with the tapeworms, Fala, before you worry too much about our spirit?
And she points at the book that Robert is holding, and she says, "That book, that book holds the key."
Yes, of course it does, Fala. Could you please look at the children who
The
have
sp-
tapeworms?
the spirit see. And she like says, "Give it to me, give it to me." And Robert like reluctantly hands it over. She like leafs through the book, and she like shows you just like a tapeworm remedy. It's like on
Oh,
the pages, and she says,
Oh,
"Long ago, this mansion was ruled by a hag.
was it now? How
Yes, the
interesting.
spirits say."
Interesting.
You know who is in our basement?
And she says, "Yes,
Could you give us a name?
lift,
Lift!
lift."
Well, that will be very helpful in communicating with him in future. And would Liv happen to know anything about the hag who used to own this place?
No, that was long before his time.
Was it before your time too, or...?
Yes, long before my time when the spirits reigned.
Understood. Boys, Basil and Aiton, did you find the missing 5 children? Because we need to remedy them as soon as we can.
Yeah.
so it turns out little Jenks over here was sending a couple of kids over to another orphanage. But we went over there, and surprisingly, it was really good. It was owned by some Auntie Gemini. The kids really like it there. There was, it seemed well taken care of. She seems very compassionate. And
Okay,
And
so do we send the children there then?
the whole situation just seemed a bit too good. I just
Too
wanted to come
good.
here and confirm with Renair and Robert or some other of the locals here whether that's actually a good place. They have
Okay.
acolytes there who are willing to make the remedies for the children, as well as apparently enough room for all of them. They just, yeah, Auntie Gemini doesn't seem to be asking anything from us either.
Did you think to,
She's
like,
willing
I
to
don't know, track down some of the people who, quote-unquote, graduated from this place and ask them their opinions?
graduate from Auntie Gemini. That the term we use for orphan, but I'm not sure how to go about that process. Do I just walk down the street and ask? Wait, you live in Auntie Gemini? Uh, I think it's better to ask the word of mouth, I guess, of
Bernard,
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's up?
apparently, well, yeah, there was a
what do you think of that orphanage? Have you done any investigation on that?
Well, I mean, I already told you what I thought of it. You know,
there actually there was this man outside. He was raving about how nobles come and take kids from there.
He was a lunatic. He was drinking too much. You saw that in him.
oh,
Yeah, but they better be careful, right? What's this
Well,
about?
who is this man? I might have known him. Did he give a name?
He was a beggar.
Oh, well.
In the streets? He said something
Oh.
about nobles taking the kids away.
Okay, but would you listen to a beggar?
Probably like adoption, if I do say so myself.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Now that you think about it, it's an orphanage. Maybe it's. I don't, I
If
don't
it
have
looks
much
good.
trust in
I mean, I
orphanages
have a
looking
few noble friends who can't give birth, right? And they, a lot of people, a lot of my friends, go to them to adopt.
Yes, didn't Lord Desmond and his husband recently do this? They came home with 2 lovely girls.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, I think you're right, but I'm not sure if those girls were from that orphanage specifically. But
Well,
it could
I
be.
don't know what orphanage they were from, but what I can say is that it's clearly something that is done among the upper echelons.
Yes, no, it's certainly not unheard of for nobles to adopt people. Although it is somewhat taboo, I would say, because I guess they don't want any impure blood within their family because they're nobles. But
Well, as long as it's safe for the children, but
Yeah.
I see no problem sending them over.
did she say anything? Did you get a good look inside?
We did a quick scour around. We didn't get a chance to go inside because we aren't very. I pointed out the blood presentable for children.
Right.
So
Okay. Well, I
yeah.
guess that kind of shows that they care for the safety of the kids. That they wouldn't let you inside. No offense.
Yeah, if anything, that
Yes.
untaken.
Okay,
Something
boys,
kind
what
of
do you
worry
say we
about.
all take a nice, long, hot bath, especially you, Aiton, and we can go from there?
Oh, I
I don't know
tried. I
why I
tried
said.
turning on the water for this place. I'm not sure if it works.
It doesn't work.
The
Yeah.
city planners. Go to the city
What
planners
kind
and
of
ask them.
hellhole did we fucking get from Volo?
Um. Well, I will say it is a big enough place to, I guess, turn into a tavern or some kind of business. I would say. Yeah. It's
Also, Aiton, please could you give me back my 160 gold, because clearly you did not use it.
Oh yeah, I did not. I'll give it back to you. I was thinking of giving it to Auntie Gemini. After all, she's taking like
But
55,
let us
60
first
kids.
determine whether Auntie Gemini is in fact too good to be true, or just a regular person who likes children and cares about their well-being.
I
Let us
totally
start
agree with
there.
you. Here's your gold, and I
Thank
pass the
Maybe we
gold back to
become
you.
too cynical in this kind of
Me,
depressing
cynical?
world.
Yes, I think so too.
Maybe there are good people out there.
Maybe.
I mean,
So,
listen,
it's
as
so
much
hard
as
to
Robert
believe.
loves children, and as much as I love to have people underfoot, I don't know that 60 of them is entirely reasonable. If any of them should choose to want to stay here in this hellhole that we have inherited through our good deeds and be raised up to do the work that we are doing, then I see no problem with it. But I think that probably we should first find out if it is safe, and then offer the choice to the children. It is not as though Aiton was, in need of anyone at this age, and it was not as though I were either. They are, what, 10 and 2 years now, each?
How old are they?
Um. As you turn to look at the children, you can see that the herbalist is studying them. She's kind of pressing her hands against their face and stuff like that, and having their open their mouth, etc., conducting some kind of examination. And she turns back with an aghast look, and she says, "No cleric can cure this."
How old are these children, Fala?
And she says, "Around 6 to 12."
Yeah, 6 to 12. That seems perfectly reasonable to make your own decisions. Is
Are
that not...
they? No,
No? Oh,
I don't think
okay.
so.
That
I
is
mean-
certainly well below the lawful guardian age. Yes.
Yes, naturally, but I do mean, to make their decision about where they'd like to stay. I'm just saying that, Robert and we could... I mean, collectively in this place, once we get it up and running, we could probably take in, what, 5 to 10?
Yeah. Not
Yes,
55.
but not 60.
Not 60, but what I'm saying is that if they are attached to this location, I'm not opposed to letting them stay. It is only that we must first determine what exactly are our options? And it does sound as though the other orphanage is quite lovely, but let us first track down some of the people who came from that orphanage and make sure that they are okay.
And she says,
Maybe
"Well,
City Hall.
with this parasite, there is only one option." And she like looks
Whatever.
back at the book. She says, "This is a standard hag recipe.
Can we fix it?
You must have money,
Fine,
resources that I would expect
How
an orphanage to
much?
have."
How much money would you be needing for this, for 60 children?
Oh, 60! Huh. Well, and she kind of like begins to do like a bunch of calculations.
let's see.
Uh,
Gemini's
3,000!
lights.
3,000 gold for
Gold!
60 children.
Yes, yes. 57. These
Well,
three,
no.
these three, the skinnier ones. They're not
They're fine?
affected.
Okay, can I just ask a quick question above table? When I did the healing word at like 3rd level and poured all that healing in, you said that they seemed better?
Yeah.
Like did that get rid of whatever thing she's talking about? Or is No, okay.
And she says, alternatively, with time, I think they may be able to settle. Yes.
Okay.
But they would be in pain!
We're gonna find out more information about Auntie Gemini. Now, if you go to City Hall, there's a City Hall in Waterdeep, I recall, some kind of City Hall, right?
Well, any
You can
genuine
get
adoption center would have records. I'm not saying that we have to wrestle them away or do some scheme, although that could be very fun. But I am saying that we might go and ask to see the records.
we could
Although
go
maybe
ask
she
the
wouldn't give
City
them for
Hall
confidentiality reasons or
as
whatever.
well. No, we could go ask the City Hall for a bit more information, as well as if needed, a bit more donations towards Auntie Gemini, considering the new influx, right?
I'm sure that we could ask, and as a Master Lord, I'm sure that I could maybe try and find some funds for these children. Now, listen, I have to be above board with you, and I'm going to move the two of them and Robert away, or actually not Robert, just the two of them. I'm going to move Basil and Aiton away from the rest of the children, kind of off to a private area, and I'm going to go, it looks as though I am wanted for arrest. So City Hall might not be the best place for me at the moment, as I am currently in the process of really shaking some feathers.
I want to
And
ask you how the interview went.
It went lovely. I gave her a large amount of information. I told her all of the things that we had found. Also, I don't know what Never Ember's Enigma is, but I take out the big stone thing. Go, I think this might be it. I have no reason for believing such. I just really believe it because it's the thing that we stole, and theoretically, they were looking for Never Ember's Enigma, and they seemed quite intent on keeping this. And it is just a stone.
um, I did find some
Should we tell
information
her?
about Never Emma Enigma in the orphanage, and I
Did you
put
not?
out this. Yeah,
As
I
soon
put out
as
the contract.
So as soon as you look at the contract again, it seems ineligible to you.
What?
Yeah. So it's as if like in that moment you gain some weird clarity. Maybe it had something to do with the shadow wanting you to read. But when you look at it, it's kind of like, you know, you're dyslexic. You can't read. So well, as you mentioned earlier, you can't read. So
I cannot read this anymore. Can you
If I
read
look at it,
this?
can I read it?
yeah, sure.
And it's fully legible?
Yeah, it's fully
For me?
legible to you, but not to Aiton.
And this is the contract that says that Julie and the other hags were in cahoots with
Diggle never.
Never.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Aiton, is it okay if I tuck this away? I think I'm going to go and show it to the other Master Lords.
I would not be okay with that.
Right. The thing is,
I think also Renat needs to be shown this, to be honest.
Shown
He
what?
needs.
Actually, that's
Oh wait, no, he's not here. Sorry. Yeah. you
I'll
mentioned
pull
this.
him over. Renee, can you come here for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
I feel like this
Yeah.
this was supposed to be a more like in the tavern, drinking and like then sharing this. I feel like this is too sudden.
Well, we are
But
suddenly 4 parents of 60 children, so I do think that our days at the tavern have been rather eroded.
All right,
And
all right.
it is a tavern, and
I
the
will
guy
also
reached in
mention
and
I do
paid.
remember seeing an infirmary in that orphanage. We still haven't tended to those babies and toddlers.
Oh yeah.
I guess we forgot about
The heartbeats. Fuck.
them.
I knew we were getting something.
Something to worry about for later, I suppose. But what's
Yes.
what's
We'll go back
pressing?
and get
What's
the
important?
heartbeats after her.
Uh,
And that's
I hand him the
it.
and
contract.
see this paper that I found out in the hags in the orphanage.
Okay.
You might want to read this.
Okay. So
Wait,
he
let
starts
me
reading
check.
it, and
So
you know
I
that
can
like
read this.
meme. You know that meme where it's like the Ratatouille meme where he's like reading and
Yeah.
the chef guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just like looks at you and and he stares at you for a second. And he says,
don't don't say
"S-"
it.
and he like goes ahead and just like gives you a quick hug. Well, not a quick hug. Like quickly goes to give you a hug.
They
So
won't.
brothers reunited. Ain't that exciting?
And he says, "I'm
Um,
so sorry."
It's fine. Whatever it was, it's not your fault. It was more the fault of, I guess, my father, supposedly. Even if I can call him that, I don't know.
And he like looks at the contract again and he says, I don't know about you, but our father was a scumbag. And I think if you want justice, well, we got to get down to the bottom of this never-ending enigma.
You're right.
Somewhere, our father has buried the people's money underneath this city, and he's not gonna like. We can't let him get away with that, can we?
this is
Do
my
not.
thought exactly, and so I am wondering if you have ever seen this stone, Renair. I'm going to show the stone to Renair.
Yeah, this was the stone that you used to open the portal, right?
Yes, but this is, I believe, more important than that. Because as we may recall, the gangs that we encountered were looking for Neverember's enigma, and I'm not a smart man, you must understand, but I do have an inkling that this was important, and I can't think of anything else it might have been.
Well, this
But it doesn't
this
mean
contract mentions a stone of Golor, but it says that it had eyes, that the stone had eyes. I don't see. And he says, "Oh, oh, oh. I remember Madame Zafira telling me something about this. She mentioned
Well,
an ancient
that
floating
boy.
city. That's what this contract mentions.
Okay.
The ancient city,
Okay.
like an abolithic sovereignty."
Can
Okay.
I do a history check for that?
Sure.
If I've
You
read
can make it with
anything about that
advantage.
ancient floating city? This ancient floating city I have. It's like a.
Yeah, you can make it with advantage. It
With
seems
what?
as if
I got
something is lifting a curtain within your mind. Maybe you have a past recollection
natural
of this.
20, baby.
Okay, yes. You seem to have like this uncanny, unnatural ability. When he mentions Stone of Golar, your mind kind of like fires and lights up as if you're remembering something long, sort of veiled away.
Yeah.
But yeah, your mind flashes to what you think maybe some sort of ancient stone, very archaic, but you think its origins are from like the ancient city of Zifu, back when both Abir and Teril were one. So, um, short history lesson: ancient Faerunian history. There was only one planet, Abir Teril, and then Ao descended down, the Allfather, and he split the hyphen in between Abir and Teril. And Abir was given to the primordials, and Toril was given to the gods. But long story short, we are on Toril now. But long ago, this stone seemed to be in possession of the abolithic sovereignty. Yeah, from that city, the ancient floating city of Zifu on Abir Toril. And you're not quite sure what the stone does, but You have some sort of inkling that it has some kind of world-changing ability.
These are the Arcanists or something, right?
The
Or
what, sorry?
Are they called Arcanists?
Oh,
These
archaic?
ancient cities. Archaic. Okay, sorry, I was
Yeah, no,
mishearing.
yeah, that's just like a description I
Archaic cities,
used.
main old city. Okay, okay, yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
This
very ancient.
I've in passing when I was in my village, adventurers used to pass by, and I'd read whatever books they'd carry along. Once this old man, he was an old wizard, and let me read some of these history books, and it spoke of something of the floating city of Zethu, some kind of apocalyptic archaic city, and it had a stone similar to what you said, which had an insane magical power. Could that be what is hidden in wherever your father's hidden the treasure?
Well, I will tell you this. Madame Zafira said that what was inside my locket was an eye. Now, I thought she was being figurative, but she might have actually been literal. Like, that might have been one of the eyes that belonged to the stone.
I see.
Look at your locket.
Yeah, and he just, like, he produces it again, and he just opens it, and he says, empty, empty as I found
Does
it.
that fit anywhere on the stone? Or is it a separate stone we're thinking about potentially?
You think that whatever eye would fit into this locket, it would actually be around the size of the stone that you have currently with you.
Okay, can we put it inside?
You put it inside, nothing happens.
Maybe the stone needs to be activated.
Well, said many eyes, but this is one eye. Perhaps there are more. Ethan, did you ever own a locket like this? Did your father ever?
I personally do not remember anything about my father, at least. But
And then you have like you have this weird moment of like mental clarity. Um uh
Oh,
Basil.
sorry.
You picture something in your mind. Something like sort of oval like kind of like a potato. And it's scaly and it's green, with three sort of eyes in a row. And has like eyelids as well. Green eyelids.
Green, scaly.
Yeah. Like a green scaly potato, like a big bean.
Yeah.
With three eyes.
Is it similar shape to what the stone we have?
No. You think that the stone that Suni has probably doesn't have anything to do with that, actually.
Mm. Okay, cool, cool. That's probably just one of those stones they use for the Xanathars.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So it's like the
Okay,
stone
so
we
I
have
do have some
here.
bad information then. Because here's the thing. I told the reporter that we had Never Ember's Enigma. Now, you might be asking yourself why I did that, and that's a really great question. I'm a very impulsive person. I probably shouldn't have gone there by myself.
Well, it
However,
looks like you painted a target on your back.
yes, it does look that way, does it not?
Well, I mean, you are an open mass lord. I guess that's already an open enough target as it is.
Here's the thing. I think that no matter what we do at this point, we already have a target on our back.
That's fair.
Truly, let's be honest, we did steal whatever the fuck this stone is from a very notorious gang. I do apologize for any misfortune I may have brought, although it is somewhat entertaining, you must admit. But listen, we need to figure out what Never Ember's Enigma is, because if we don't, I have a feeling that people will be knocking on our door probably hours after that piece is published, and there is no removing it from track now.
and
Did you give them our address?
No, I didn't give them our address, no.
Good.
No,
Let's
just
keep it that
Robert.
way then for now.
Well, let's hope that the guard doesn't know that you were working with Volo, and that let's hope that Volo hasn't divulged our location to the guard.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that we should prepare for war, perhaps, as
War.
Or
you humans like to put it. I like to call it a challenge of wits. But
how about let's get these kids to let's go check Auntie Gemini's, see if we can move the kids. Then let's see
We'll
if
think
anything else
about
happens.
war. Yes.
Yeah, we'll come
Okay.
back and revisit the topic once Siege is back as well. Once we have all our minds here together, right? So let's first go head together Auntie Gemini's. Renee, you wanna process all this here first?
Who are you saying this to? Sorry.
Renee, you wanna
And he says,
process
no, I can
all?
go with you.
Okay, okay. I hope.
Robert
Oh
will
wait,
take
we
care
have
of things.
Fala. Yeah. Okay. Let's head to Auntie Gemini. Have a quick talk, and then we can maybe like montage move kids.
Um, and as soon as you guys get onto the street, Renair, kind of moves his way over to you, Suni, and he tries to have like a conversation away from the others. And he says, um, I thought about what you said about war. And I would be remiss in saying that Neverember's enigma is something that I think about a lot.
certainly.
And the prospect of it being real could start, I would say, maybe not a civil war, but maybe a war from other nations. Maybe Neverwinter, because my father is Open Lord of Neverwinter. We must not forget. What I am saying is that this thing is big, Suni. This thing is big, and I know that you like to. Let's just cut to the chase. Deal with things very callously, but I think we should tread lightly.
Renee, let us not mince words.
Okay.
You understand me to be a villain, and you are not incorrect in your assertions. I will own it
Sorry?
openly. I think you understand me to be a villain, and that's okay.
Well, that's not what I think of you at all. No.
Well, you know me to tell stories that are not my own. Let
Well,
us
that
not
is
mince
true.
words.
Yes.
You know me also to be mostly in pursuit of my own interests. Do you not?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel as if you had every opportunity to backstab your friends back at the Hags, and you didn't. And I think that speaks
My
very much
interests
about
were
you.
aligned with theirs. And Renee, I will never lie to you about this. If your brother ever ends up outside of my interests, or for that matter you do either, you will find yourselves on the other end of my sword. And I'm okay to die that way. I know we are outmatched. But let us be happy that for now our interests align. I have every intention of changing the way that this world operates. I do not find it to be intriguing. I do not find it to be fair. I do not like that there are children running underfoot of me right now who have never had the opportunity to run underfoot of someone who truly loved them. These are things I do not like about our world. I want to take down the Masked Lords. That is
Why?
my goal.
Can you tell me why?
I think it's a bad system. I think it is a system which allows no one to hold anyone accountable. Not to mention it lacks drama, but that's besides the point. What you must understand is that at the end of the day, I don't think it's best. I don't think it is a good system. I grew up in a system kind of like it, and I don't much care for it. And I will align myself with villains if I must, in order to achieve my goals.
I don't want to argue, but I would be lying if I said that I don't think the Mass Lords are really what's the problem here.
Then what do you think is?
I think it's the Open Lord that's the problem, really. And I mean, I understand that what you say, right? That there is some problem with our government. I, for one, don't really like the idea of there being an autocracy here, and I would like there to be more votes and, more members, uh, you know, representation. And I don't like, obviously, um, the whims of the city to be left up to one big autocrat. Not that I'm calling Laeral Silverhand an autocrat. I would say she is 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times better than my father. But it is the open lord that got my father, well, the position anyway, that got my father to steal all this money
You do
away
not
from
see how
the rightful
this
citizens of Waterdeep.
it encourages corruption, though. You must see that. And as interesting as corruption is, it's so much more interesting if it's out in the open and people can do something about it. I don't like this idea that the city is bogged down by a system which doesn't allow the people to take charge of their own fates.
But
I
I
am
want
going
but I
to-
want us to understand one another, because what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing is that you want to use my father's enigma to prove that the mass lords are bad, right? Is that what you really want here? And I'm saying to tread lightly. I'm saying to be careful, because once you say that you have all the answers, right? There are going to be a lot of angry people saying that they want money, that they want their money back, and there's going to be a lot of pressure for you to retrieve it.
I understand. And I have every intention of doing so. Provided I don't, perish or whatever beforehand. What I'm asking of you now, Renair, is that we level with each other. I have leveled with you. I don't understand why you are still here. You have a brother, sure, a brother you've never known. Cry me a river. Why are you here? What do you want to accomplish?
Because it's about my father's enigma. I think that this,
Do you want to uncover it?
well, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to, but I think we also have a responsibility that we know more about this thing. This is the people's money. We have a right to return it. Don't
Yes.
you?
I have no intention of keeping the money for myself. I don't know if you've noticed much, but money isn't really my shtick.
Okay. Well, then I guess we're on the same page then.
Understood. Please do keep me informed of any changes of heart you might have. I think that I would like to take some people to City Hall. I know that it's probably a bad idea, but I think Suni is just tired of sitting around doing nothing.
Okay.
I think Suni wants to go to City Hall and try and find some of these people. Can we maybe take the evening to just sort of rest up, do our thing,
Yeah.
settle
Sure.
in for a minute?
Yep.
Incredible. When is that piece planning to be published, by the way?
Probably the next morning, so the next day. Yeah.
Okay.
Managed to world fast deadlines. What can I say,
Newsrooms. The turnaround. It's just crazy. Okay. Yeah, so we'll take a long rest then. Get all the kids settled in.
Actually, let's go to Auntie Gemini, sorry. A quick look. Maybe we can wrap up 5 minutes worth of it. And just have confirm whether this is safe.
Where do you
to buy,
guys-
so shift everyone.
I have a question. Where do you guys rest up?
Rest?
We would
Sorry, rest up. Sorry, rest up.
First, let's have before we rest up. Let's quickly we're walking towards Auntie Gemini's. We'll have a quick just check, confirm whether
Oh, before.
seems
Okay.
good enough.
Yeah.
And we literally move it to that. Our place does not have beds for kids. In fact, it'd probably be better
Yeah.
just keeping the empty orphanage.
Yeah, that's fair.
then
But you do need to get yourselves cleaned up, I suppose. She's probably not gonna let you in there.
Is there
Yeah,
a
so
public
we
bath or
could go.
something like that?
Robert, I
They're
know
all
your
brothels.
place is disastrous, but does it have running water?
What has running water? Sorry, what did you ask?
Robert, I know your place is disastrous.
Oh,
Does
yes.
it have running water?
Yeah, he says it does. Yes, absolutely.
Incredible.
Okay.
Can we please use it? Not for the older children, just for us.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we'll go to Robert's house, we'll clean up, and then we'll drop the children off for sleeping that evening at the orphanage, and we will come back the following day. It's not as though they're going to disappear on us. We know where they are.
So you're dropping off the 55 children at the orphanage? Sorry. Oh no.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was the plan.
No, we want to check out the place before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Before you do
I feel
this.
like maybe this is the thing that is best suited for another, like for tomorrow, because
Yeah.
it's dark now tonight, and I'm low on resources, and I think so is everyone else. Let's wash up and go to bed. The kids will have to sleep on the floor for tonight, but you know what? They're not going to get eaten by a giant monster, so that's a good
No,
start.
that's a win-win.
Uh,
That's a win-win. Let's start.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let's
So
wash up. Let's just stay with the kids. Show them that we're there, so they're not scared and stuff.
I think as everyone's bedding down for sleep, you see Suni recounting tales that are not his own, but he is claiming as his own to all of the children, and teaching a couple of them how to brandish like a sort of stone thrower, or a, what do you call that? Like a, you hold it and it's like, you know, do you know what that is?
Sling.
Sling, yeah, like a rock sling. Um,
Yeah.
and every so often a child will ask for like a different thing. Suni will show them how to like pick a lock or whatever. Like Suni is not a good influence on these kids, but is keeping them entertained. And as they bed down,
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
Suni
so
takes up a place on the floor in the middle of all of them.
Okay.
Curl up in the corner. I can say I can pull up a book or from one of my collection and give it to you so you to have like a bedtime reading story. Which side
No,
would
no,
you
I don't need a book. I'll tell them one of my own.
like? All right.
And I think I make pointed eye contact with Renair as I tell a story that very evidently I know belongs to Renair, and am claiming it as my own.
Okay.
Horrible, but-
So tomorrow, you wake up to a very frantic scene. It seems as if you guys have slept in a little bit. Because you were so
Yeah, we're
tired from the
tired,
day
but it's fine.
prior. But you wake up with a shake, Suni, as Robert, flustered, begins to just ramble.
Okay, all right, Robert. We've talked about this. Your accent is a little bit of a problem for me. Could you please slow down?
And you can actually hear an angry mob outside of the house.
Oh, do I now?
Yes.
Can I peek out a window to see how many people there might be outside?
The broken window.
At the very least, 60.
Okay. Do I know what they're yelling about?
Um,
Child, any child.
most of them seem to be yelling about a vault and the Enigma.
Okay.
And Robert, kind of like in his word vomit, says that Renair has gone outside and attempted to guard the front door from people trying to trespass inside.
Renair's gonna get killed
I'm going
out
to
there.
hand Robert the stone that I found. I don't know what it is, but I truly still think it's significant. I don't know why, but I really feel like it's important.
Mhm.
So I'm going to hand Robert the stone. And I'm going to say, "Wait here. I'm going to help." And I'm going to step outside of the front door. Yeah. I'm going to step outside the front door to face the mob.
Face.
Okay. What's your AC?
Not a good start. My AC is I'm not using my shield, so just 14.
Okay, just 14. Are we doing a Cersei Lannister death, I wonder? No, I'm kidding.
It might be.
Oh no.
3. Okay. 2 eggs hit you, just like in the chest. It's like people are throwing eggs and tomatoes at you. There he is! Ah! And then they're all like holding up
I hear
newspapers and
you.
pitchforks and stuff like that.
Yes. Listen. I'm gonna try and quell the crowd, like just get them to shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can try to quell them down. You can make like a persuasion check.
Oh, actually, because I have +7, so that's actually not bad. That's a 16.
Okay. The the volume has like died down by maybe about 25%. But they're still quite angry. You'd have to yell. You'd have to shout to get your words across.
Listen, fine folk, listen. I understand that you are incensed, but there are 60 very, very terribly minded children inside who just need peace and quiet. They have been rescued from a terrible situation. Could we please take this 20 paces down the road?
It seems as if they're not moving. But it also, like, someone seemed to have thrown, like, today's newspaper at you as well.
Okay. Can I read the newspaper?
Like the headline?
Yeah.
Who holds the secrets to Never Ember's enigma?
Okay, so didn't print something that is flattering to me. Printed something that is very incensing.
Well, you do a quick scan, and it seems to be a very flattering piece about you. But it's kind of laced with the idea that, yes, you do hold all the secrets, etc. Of the.
Okay. I'm going to look at it and say, I am still working. You know that I am not the one who did this to you. I am just trying to find the answers, and when I do, your money shall be returned. I'm doing this for your benefit. That work?
Make a. Yeah, make another persuasion check.
I do think this one is probably a little bit more deception.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not horrid. That is an unnatural 20.
Okay. Nice. And as you leaf through this newspaper, you actually do find another column about you. And this one actually seems to be more about, like, your rescue with Renaer, etc.
Okay.
But it's written by the same author.
I'm going to say, if you read past the first page, you'll know that I only just found out this information. I am only now taking on this mantle. It has been less than 3 days. I will find your answers. I shall.
Okay, actually, here, this is a question for you.
Yeah.
Because you said you wanted your character to die.
Towards the end of their arc, yeah, for sure.
Sorry?
Yeah, at the end of their arc, absolutely, sure.
Are you okay with them dying by stoning?
Yeah. For sure. That sounds like a cool thing, I'm not gonna lie.
How did tell me how you envisioned it? Or you know.
I think let's just move it full into roleplay, because if we've agreed that this is the way it's going to go down, like, I think that it's a lot of Suni, like, trying to reason with people and getting hit kind of from the back with stones, knowing full well that, like, all of the things that they thought they needed to tell people is out there. Robert knows all their secrets, but it's still pleading, trying to kind of run away. They can't get back into the door anymore, so it's just kind of like hit point by hit point as we move through the streets of them just saying, like, I have your best interests at heart, and trying to persuade people who are just beyond persuading. And I think that Suni is just sort of slowly losing their ability to keep, like, his ability to keep going forward. You know, his hair is matted with blood. There's, like, a very obvious glare and sheer off of what is clearly a magically induced sort of overlay on their real form. A glamour, if you will. And I think as they move out into the streets, the mobs grow bigger, and people who have been mad at Suni for the whole time he's been in Waterdeep, people whose stories he has stolen, people who he owes debts to, people who he spilled the secrets of, are kind of joining in, not necessarily because of the inciting incident, but just, like, every stone that Suni has ever put down to try and get out of the next bit of trouble is sort of falling at this point. And by the end, I think that Suni is surrounded by a mob in, like, a town square-esque space with just hundreds of angry commoners who don't want the system to change. They are scared of people who are like Suni. They don't like the idea that this like Suni's not been a good person. He's betrayed people. He's stabbed others in the back. He is, flirted with the emotions of many townsfolk. He has incited rage and anger. And I think it's very much like a Boris Johnson in downtown London kind of a moment. Shivs are getting pulled, and by the end, there is just a very obviously not athletic tabaxi cat laying dead in the streets by a mob who cannot be prosecuted for it. And I don't think that anyone collects his body. I think they just sort of slowly dissipate. I think that people are throwing kicks after he's dead. I think that that's the end of Suni.
I'm gonna say after a while, we're with the kids to make sure everyone's safe and everything. Slowly
Yeah.
the noise dissipates away, right? And Renner is inside with us because Sunni's decided to go out and engage. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, um, I'm not sure if it's the mob or Suni himself, but it seems as if they've all left.
So Sunni's pretty good with his words. If there's one person I can trust to get their way out of trouble, it's probably Sunni.
And it seems as if he's like staring off into the wall. And he kind of just slumps down onto the staircase, and sighs.
Come on, let's pick up Sunni and let's go to Auntie Gemini's. We gotta get these kids settled somewhere.
Okay. And as you head there,
then-
you cross the market. Um,
Mhm.
and as you begin to like get closer and closer to the market, it seems as if some giant crowd has just begun to dissipate. And you can like see
Sunni's already dispersed them.
you can see the anger etched onto people's faces as they walk away.
That's the
Ah.
Sunni
Kind of like someone
story.
holding a grudge.
Ah,
And it seems like some big battle occurred. Like you see like just clouds of ash.
That's Sunni. You there? Bit dramatic to use smoke effects
ah,
here. Ethan, did you see Sunni?
I do not know. I did hear some noise in the night, and I saw Sunny leaving, but I thought
Sunni
she
snuck
would. They
snuck
were.
around with some of the other
You hear a
people lost
man
him with the crowd.
you hear a man screaming. And then you realize it's Robert. And you see him
Robert?
sort of dart across the market and slump just onto the floor, crying over what seems to be a body.
Robert, what's going on? I'm gonna slowly, quicken my pace just a bit, not try to like full out run, just like, try to increase the pace of my steps.
And you
And
can hear him stumbling over his words. My boy, he's dead. Oh my god,
Sunny,
my gods.
this isn't funny. Hey, if this is your idea of a prank, uh, you could get up. We could go to Auntie Gemini's.
Um, it
Sunny?
seems to your, it seems as if Suni is disheveled, matted fur, as she, expertly put it. Very disfigured body, clumps of fur sort of ripped away from their skin.
Ah,
I think you also
Yeah.
look down and it's just like not really recognizable as Sunni. Like the face is the same, but this Tabaxi man is like heavy set. Appears to have a fondness for cake. Like doesn't seem to like there are no scars anymore along his body, so like it doesn't even seem as though he's like lived that heroic life. Like there are very obvious indications and sort of next to him just a severed hand that had a ring on it, which is still glowing faintly, and you can still see the glamour on that hand.
My tattoos are gonna glow up as I say, "Get up, Sunny!" As I cast Healing Word at first level, which I don't think goes because you know
It's not a valid
it's.
target. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast it again. My hands glow again. Sunny, get up! We gotta go.
Let me
And
try, and I cast Cure Wounds at level 2. Does that work?
You approach and you touch their sort of matted, ripped away fur. And it feels as if this body is not jolting to life as you would hopefully expect. And
What?
you feel
well,
a
my
crushing weight of disappointment upon you. And your brother sort of um like puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, I think it's I think it's his time.
oh no, Sunny always likes to play. Sunny wouldn't go like this. It's not
Yeah.
spectacular now. It's not. My hands look in and I cast the second level. Sunny, just get up. We gotta go. Sage is gonna be waiting for us. My voice starts cracking it. Also start kneeling beside the body with uh, Ethan. Sunny. And as I'm kneeling down there, my eyes sort of go white, and I sort of remember this burning village and this woman with long hair and this bloody dress. Get, get up, we gotta go. Get up before my mind swaps back to this current body of Sunny. Robert, Sunny said you knew what to do. Just tell him to get up. Open that book of yours. It has something, right?
There's nothing we can do.
You can't say that. I'm gonna start reaching into my bag. I don't have any. I have like a herbalism kit and stuff, and I start crushing all kinds of like this, poppy seed, uh, charcoal, burnt flower, and stuff. Looking at the bludgeoning wounds. It's, it's it's not your time yet.
And Renair says, I'm sorry. And like it's not like he's saying this to you guys, it's like he's saying this to the body. I'm so sorry.
If you guys examine the body, you'll find a small notebook that has just lists upon lists of people that Sunni owes favors to or debts to, and not all of them good. A large number of pages about Aiton and everything that he knew and where he was going, which were written as though they were. I was talking to someone who knew Aiton. You see, within the pages, just like schemes to try and get Aiton back to the orphanage. You see notes I've taken on Basil and his sister, where I'm clearly trying to figure out what their angle is so that I can manipulate it. You see that I have not been on your side for maybe since you've met me.
I'm going to basically the notebook with all those pages, right? I'm going to slowly tear those pages, which you're writing all those notes about Sage and Basil, and I turn to Ethan as well and give it to you. I'd like to remember Sunny for what good he did for us. I don't want to think about whatever ulterior motive. Sunny was a good friend.
You're right. I do not know what to make of this. He teased me all the time. He made fun of me. But at the same time, he was there when I needed him the most.
Like,
So
Sunny should
yeah, and
die.
Robert says, like,
die
he
the-
was the best of us. He was the best of me, is what he says.
I think Sunny should die the way he lived, wearing a glamour and in whatever perfected image he had of. That's who Sunny was, not to everyone, not, and that's all that matters. Not whatever's in this notebook, not whatever people think of him, not whatever he actually thought of people. What he told everyone, that's our Sunni. That's enough.
yes. Uh, so what should he do now?
We bury him.
Not Sunni, yeah,
Do you think we should bury him in the Troll Skull Manor?
no.
Um,
I told you, Robert. Where did Sunni always go when?
I'm not sure what Tabaxi customs are, but I think we should find out, and I think we should follow them.
Can we wait for Sage? I know she'd want to say.
Yeah.
Then, well, up to you. Where do look at if Sunni's eyes weren't already like close them, and then just lightly just curl up the corner of his lip, you know, just so that if even if he's gone, he's at least smiling.
Mm.
And yeah, so you love that. Yeah, I think that's
Okay. And that is how we will end this session in this cloud of dust that has just started to settle. Yeah. All right. Well.
Thank you all. It's been great. We'll see you again.
Yeah. It was amazing to have you, Rose. And we wish you all the best in your future D&D endeavors and your masters and all that.
It
fun
was
stuff.
great playing with you guys. I'm
Thank you
very
much.
excited to see how this progresses.
Thanks. All right. Well, that is the end of today's session, and we'll see you back some other time in December. We are not going to be doing Saturdays for the rest of December, but we will do something else, possibly. Okay. Well, that is it for today. We will see you next time. Goodbye.